welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Violent Night, which, as you can probably tell, is a seasonally relevant topic. David Harbour plays the somewhat off-kilter Santa Claus, who has a drinking problem, as you can probably see from the video. Slightly disillusioned with his role. The overall movie then, as you can imagine, is less down the role of the usual saccharine, schmaltzy kind of Americanized Christmas, and more in keeping with probably some weird conglomeration of Die Hard, Home Alone, with a bit of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation thrown in for good money. Those of you, on a side note, who haven't seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, I seriously recommend you watch it. There is a link between these two movies, actually, and I'm sure some of you have probably spotted it for those who have seen it. Beverly D'Angelo is the matriarch. She's Clark Griswold's wife in National Lampoon's. And she actually plays a similar role in this, albeit with a much meaner edge. The story generally takes place, as you can imagine, initially following Santa, who's got a severe alcohol problem, drinking and piloting a sled under the influence. He goes to a house full of very reprehensible and ethically dubious people who happen to be wealthy, as is often the case. So his naughty list, as you can imagine, is quite substantial. While there, this house is also taken over by, I won't call them terrorists, really they're criminals. Their main goal is to liberate a lot of money, which is itself ill-gotten by the owners of it, the people who reside in this mansion. As I said, ethically dubious people. What follows then is pretty much a gore fest, and they don't really hold back on the gore in this one, I gotta say. Santa dispatches them with gusto and in some very inventive ways, I must say, as well. There is a backstory to David Harbour's Santa Claus in this. I won't ruin it for any of you who haven't seen it. I would have liked to have seen maybe a bit more on that, and really it felt like it was shoehorned in to explain how he could dispatch all of these guys with such ease. Again, I didn't think it was really fleshed out too much, and I would have liked to have seen a little bit more on that. Overall, though, I really did enjoy this movie. The supporting cast, they are probably one of the weakest points in this. To be honest, I didn't really care about any of them. They were all almost as bad as the villains, and arguably one of them is actually a villain as well. You'll see when you watch the movie. Perhaps that was the point, but it does, I suppose, impact on the tone of the movie. So tonally, I would say this movie is a little bit incoherent. They do try and have, I wouldn't say equal amounts of gore with schmaltz and the usual Christmas fare. There's definitely more gore, but I think when the typical more sentimental aspect of the Christmas movie comes in, it just doesn't feel natural so much. As I said, the cast are pretty horrible themselves. Overall, though, I did enjoy it. It's definitely one you should check out. I give it maybe a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Its saving grace really is David Harbour's performance. He's an actor I'm really coming to quickly becoming one of my favourites, really, to be honest. You'll obviously have seen him in Stranger Things. The cast of villains really is rounded out by John Leguizamo, who's a guy you've no doubt seen multiple occasions. He's pretty much just doing it by the numbers here, but it's enjoyable. And I will say, I love how he meets his end at the hands of Santa Claus in this. It's something. It's pretty inventive, and it's one of the more memorable villain end scenes, if you like. So that's about it for this. So I would definitely check it out if you have time. Let me know if you have any comments on it yourself. Have you seen it? Are you going to see it? It's a nice antidote to the production line, Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell, saccharine stuff that seems to be excreted from every pore of Hollywood's creative machine at this time of year. So give it a try. It's not one for the kids, but if those of you with kids, if you get a night off, worth checking out. Thanks very much. Have a good Christmas.